Well, good afternoon, Jeff. It's Dan here in the States. We chat from time to time. I've had Junior's Farm on my mind, and Paul is coming to Nashville again on November 6th. And my time with you guys in Nashville, as you know, was just a great, wonderful time for me. And by the way, uh, what do you remember about the song Junior's Farm? Because at the time I was hearing it, it wasn't released. And in fact, you had not recorded it at all. What do you remember about rehearsing it in the garage?
Well, that's right. We were rehearsing it, and I remember you. I mean, you once you were established and okayed by everybody, you were hanging out with us basically every day. So it was only a little later on that I realised that whilst we were in the garage of Curly Putman's lovely ranch, that you was out sitting outside and you were digging what we were rehearsing, and that's when we put together Junior's Farm. It was Paul, Paul being the genius he is, he had an outline of the song, and we just jammed on it and jigged it and changed bits, and but you were the first person outside of us, outside of the members of Wings, to have actually heard any of that. It's very unique what the position you were in.
Well, I was outside and I was listening every day and I was hearing all my favorite songs like My Love, Jet, Band on the Run, Little Woman Love, Hi, Hi, Hi. And then I heard this song that I did not know, and it sounded like the band was working through the opening part, trying to get it tight, get the notes right between the guitar and the keyboards, which I'm sure Linda was on. And at the end of the rehearsal that day, because you guys had spent quite a bit of time on it, I asked Denny when he came in, Denny, what was the song that you kept going over and over again? And Denny's reply was, "You'll find out later." And do you remember do you remember you guys sort of working through the opening lick trying to get that perfect?
Well, yeah, because the opening was kind of unusual. It's a sort of the timing and the sequencing of playing it. It was it was unusual. The intro, and like anything like that that's new, Paul had it in his head, but you got to work through it, and the sort of syncopation that there was just had to be. You've got five different individuals, and we've all got different sort of time meters in our body. So what a band does, it works on that and it hones it until you're all on the same meter, and that's what a good band gets, that tight groove. Well, that's what we were doing. Plus, we were working on the arrangement. Did that intro actually work? Did it set the song up nicely? And in actual fact, the version we do on the one hand clapping, I think is nicer than the version we recorded in Nashville, because we were more familiar with it by then. So yeah, it's a great song. It really is.
Well,
It's a great song.
you guys left around the 18th of July, went back and left the farm, and it wasn't until October 9th of 74 that I'm driving down the road and John Records Landecker announces that he's going to play a new song for Paul McCartney and Wings. And when they came back from commercial, they hit Junior's Farm, and I instantly knew this is the song that I had heard in the garage that no one would tell me about. And I called up John Records Landecker in Chicago and related to him my story about hearing it and not knowing what the song was, probably around about 3 weeks before you guys went into the Sound Shop studios in Nashville and recorded it.
Yeah, well, that's right. As I said, you were just in such a unique position. you young kids are sitting outside listening to a band rehearse and, go through all the trials and tribulations that bands do just in a garage, and it just happens to be Paul and Wings, and that would go on in the same sort of way a semi-pro band would just be rehearsing in someone's garage, and American garages are massive, so you can do that, and you just unique. You're just out there listening to all that, soaking all that up. So yeah, quite a special moment for you.
Well, I was lucky. And then years later, 50 years later, you and I and Jonathan Pushkar on his album Compositions record a cover of Junior's Farm, and I'm actually playing bass with you.
I know. Isn't technology amazing? Because back in the day when we used the sound shop, thanks to Buddy Killen, that would have been impossible. But with technology, I'm putting the drums down in Europe, and you're putting the bass down in the USA. I mean, it just you can't make that up, and it comes out on the same track. It's technology for you.
Well, it's
One of the times when I think it's good.
it's the miracle that I'm a kid in 1974 listening to you guys play it before you record it, and 50 years later, it's miraculous that I'm playing on Junior's Farm, playing bass with you. It's it's just you can't make it up. Now here's the thing.
No,
On that
you
recording,
can't.
I used my Rickenbacker bass, 1974 Rickenbacker, that for some reason I took to the farm. Denny liked it. I had it out. Denny Lane liked it. He was playing it. And Denny suggested Paul would love this bass. And I just said give it to him. Do you remember anything about that?
Yeah, I do. Paul had the bass. He brought it into the garage, and he put it on, and we played around with it. And like, what's the backstory? Where's this come from? And Paul said it come from you. And well, frankly, I didn't think that was right. So I said to Paul, well, you've really got to let him have it back. You can go to any manufacturer in the music business and ask for any instrument, and they give it to you. And this is some young kid out there, and it's his bass guitar. I said, you got to let him have it back. And he was, there was no problems with him. He wasn't like, he liked it. He was playing it, and he was, stroking it like a musician does with an instrument that's in his possession that's nice. But, yeah, no, I've got a vivid memory of that. And that's right. Well, Paul did the right thing. He played the guitar, and he gave it back to you.
People
You
ask me,
remember it like that?
I do remember it that way. He actually informed me on his birthday, June 18th of 74, when I was working at the gate security for his party. He left the party and walked through the field and came up, and the first thing he said was, "You're the one with the bass." And I said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "It would be silly for me to keep it." And I think he meant that he didn't want to, I think you told me he didn't want to deprive a fan of his instrument. So he decided he would play it and then return it to me. And that way he knew it would mean more to me than if he just kept it.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. That's how it went down, Dan. There's no doubt about it. And you were there, I was there, and unfortunately, there's not many rest that of us left that were actually experiencing that for us that wonderful moment in time in our lives. And you've got the bass, you still got it. You played it on the record that we recorded together for Jonathan Pushkar, which was Junior's Farm. You heard it before anybody else heard it while we were still, getting it together. He played your bass. He gives the bass back to you, and you play the bass on another version of his song. I mean, it's just a great story.
Well, people ask me, why did you not have Paul sign the bass at the farm?
That's a good question. Good question.
And I had the bass out. around my neck, out of the case with the strap on, waiting for the opportunity. And Paul would have signed it for me because
No doubt about it. No
he
doubt about it.
he knew it was mine. And I was going to give it to him. He would have been very gracious. He often stopped and talked to me as he came in and out at the entrance. But I looked down at it. It was a new bass and it was shiny, and I was only 19 years old. And I told myself, I don't want Paul messing up my bass.
Yeah, that's how it would be. You know, shiny and brand new. It's perfect. You don't want it damaged. It's only
So
years later that you think, oh, wouldn't it have been great to have his signature on that guitar that he played, and he had it as a gift, and he gave it back to you. I mean, that would have been fantastic.
So that's the reason I never asked him. But now Paul has announced he's coming to Nashville again on November 6th, 2025, to do a concert at the Pinnacle. And it's 51 years later. I know he has fond memories of being in Nashville, be at the farm. And this, to me, would be the perfect opportunity if he would like to. I would be happy and honored to come on stage and have him sign it for me. It would certainly be a full circle moment. So who knows if that's going to happen or not, but a lot of miracles have happened in this 52 years of my journey with Paul and Wings. And so that's what I'm putting out there for that possibility to happen.
Well, I think just a great idea. I mean, it's a logical thing in a way because it's a true story. It's you know the music the rock music world's full of quirky, unusual human stories. Yours is a genuine one. Paul will remember it. I remember it. You certainly remember it. And I mean, it would just be just a lovely story. You need to talk to some people and get it out there, Dan, because it's just a great human, musical, real life story, and get it out there. And if you need me to say, well, did that happen? Is Dan telling the truth? Well, yes, you are, and I can confirm it. So best of luck with that. And I think you should try all you can to get that to happen. That would be a lovely thing, and you'll always have that wonderful guitar with Paul's signature. And that would be just perfect.
Well,
Wonderful.
I would like to have him mess up my bass now.
Yes, well, now you're older and the shine's off of it. That signature would be more valuable than the shiny guitar. I get that totally.
Well, Geoff,
Mm.
thank you for spending some time with me today on this subject.
It's
And,
always a pleasure to talk to you. You know that. It's
and
great.
I manage the page of Junior's Farm on social media, and I look after your page and look after Wings at the Speed of Sound and Wings across Wings over America. So I say I'm Wings' biggest fan. I don't know, but I hope so, and I do my best to keep up with everything. And thanks for being with me today. I know we'll talk again soon.
Dan, go with good health and good love and just get it done. All the best to you, Dan, as always.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.